We are live on Facebook.
Mute devices. Good morning, everyone. Alicia, could you please welcome our family, Facebook
Good
Morning.
and Zoom? We are
morning.
Blessings,
ready.
Good morning, everyone. So
morning.
happy to be with you guys this morning. Welcome, welcome.
Could you give us an idea of what the community, may need to prepare for your session this morning? I know you always come with a wealth of information, so I would imagine a pen and paper to be handy. Anything
Yes,
else, Alicia?
yes, it would be great to have a pen and paper handy. And I always say, have your mind open, be an empty cup, because this is all innovation. It is the future. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. And so I just want everyone to be an empty cup, be curious. And yeah, I look forward to this presentation this morning. And I always, always appreciate the Wake Up Everybody community. So welcome.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Unmute, Alicia.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. I am so happy to be here to talk with you about wealth building and for everyone to have their minds open as I talk about wealth building with cryptocurrency and the future of currency. My name is Alicia Holmes. I'm a financial educator and coach. My mission, passion, North Star is the financial empowerment of people, Black people, people of color all over the diaspora. But my personal mission is the financial empowerment of women. So just a little bit about me. I was fortunate. I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, humble beginnings. I had someone take me under their wing when I was just 20 years old and introduce me to a whole new paradigm, a different way of thinking about having financial well-being, being in a conversation around thriving and having financial freedom. So I always say there are three things that I learned. You can't hit a target that you can't define. So financial well-being, what do you shoot for when you're in a wealth conversation? I was introduced to the concept of net worth. And net worth is when you take everything you own, subtract everything you own, and that bottom line is your net worth. So we're used to thinking about what is our income, but I was introduced to the world of financial well-being and creating wealth by paying attention to your net worth. The other thing I was introduced to was being masterful at managing your money. And lastly, the savings does not build wealth, that it's important to be in the investing game and having your money work for you and growing. Armed with that information, I hit the ground running, took it very seriously, measured my net worth, kept my expenses low, and I've been investing for over 30 years. I worked in nonprofits my own whole career, but I was able to become a self-made millionaire in my early 30s and completely financially independent in my early 40s. And what I get to do is what I love, and that is work with particularly women on so we can break all of the generational stuff that has not been passed down to us and do what I was taught to share. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So again, I'm a financial educator and coach, the founder of Journey to Wealth. A disclaimer, because I will be talking about investing. Trading stocks, crypto, and any other securities involves risk. The risk of loss in trading securities can be substantial. The risk involved with trading stocks, crypto, and other securities are not suitable for all investors. The information presented in this educational material is not intended to be used as the sole basis of any investment decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the investment needs of any particular investor. Nothing in this constitutes legal, accounting, or tax advice or individually tailored investment advice. So I understand I have 30 minutes this morning. It's my first time doing a 30-minute presentation with you guys. So bear with me. I'm going to try to move through it and be as thorough as possible. So I talked about net worth. And whenever you hear anyone talking about wealth, they're usually measuring net worth. In this country right now, we have a wealth divide. So when I talk about wealth, we talked about income will allow your families to get by, our families to get by, but wealth is what allows families to get ahead. So there's some really sobering statistics. So Black and Latinx women have a median wealth of $100 and $120 respectively, and the median wealth for white women is $41,500. Another really alarming stat. In Boston, there's all of this research that's showing that about this racial wealth divide. The Road to Zero Wealth talks about the median Black household wealth is on a path to hit zero by 2053. So the Federal Reserve of Boston partnered with the university to do a study, and it's being done in cities all over the country right now. And the statistics are very similar. And they partnered with the school, and what they found that white families in Boston had a net worth of $247,500, while Puerto Rican families, it was 3,000, Dominican families over 1,000, but for Black families, it was $8. So we're in the start of the fourth industrial revolution. And every conversation is talking about during the next decade, we will experience more upheaval, innovation, technology, and create more wealth than we ever have in the past 100 years. But the discussion for our community is that it's going to hit zero and that it's really low. So I say that we can disrupt this. It does not have to be a foregone conclusion. So the work that I do in the world is about the many ways that we can disrupt this. And one of the things that's happening right now is there are opportunities to get involved in some investments that could be life-changing, and in spaces that if we don't participate in, it's going to put us it could put us at a serious disadvantage in the future. So I want to talk about the world of cryptocurrency, the future of money, and why we cannot afford not to educate ourselves and pay attention in this area. So I'll call this the cryptoverse. A friend of mine introduced me to the term, and I love the term. So generally, they're saying that people fall into two categories when it comes to just entering this space. FOMO, which most of you may, or some of you may have heard of, the fear of missing out. And then what a lot of us haven't heard about was phobia. That is the fear of being in. So the fear of missing out is everyone is talking around us about all of the money that they're making in cryptocurrency, and people are becoming billionaires, and Tesla is buying Bitcoin, and you may be like, oh my God, I really need to get in this area. And some people just jump in because they don't want to miss out, or they're in a conversation about, oh my God, I don't want to miss out. And then there's the other side that I'm finding as I work with hundreds of women around their wealth, is the fear of being in. Like, I really don't know much about this area, and I don't want to be in something I don't want to understand. So I'd like to be a little interactive. If you don't mind, I want to go to the chat for a minute and see if you guys can let me know which category are you finding yourself mostly in? The fear of missing out or the fear of being in?
Okay, let's give everyone a second to consider their options.
I see someone started with FOMO.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward because I know I have a half an hour and I really want to get to some of this, get through this as much as I can. So one of the things I could say, whether you have FOMO or phobia, when it comes, we're in the information age, and I'll keep using the term, we're in the fourth industrial revolution. And in the information age, what you know and understand is critical. And this area is brand new. No one is a complete and total expert in this area. Everyone is learning, and this is a great area, the whole cryptoverse, understanding the blockchain, the future of cryptocurrency, and educating yourself in this area. Education leads to higher returns when you're an investor and less risk. So our goal is to fill in the gap and not have so much risk by educating ourselves in this area. Okay. So what does that look like? So one of the first things I'll talk about here in terms of investing, the reason why you want to invest is that you want growth. Now, when you invest in technology, or in general, when you're investing, what you're looking for, and again, being empty cup, is exponential growth. And to understand exponential growth, I'll have this little trivia. If you doubled a penny every day, how much would you have in 30 days? If you went from 1 cent to 2 cents, 2 cents to 4 cents, 4 cents to 8 cents, 8 cents to 16 cents, you get where I'm going with this. How much would you have in 30 days? And I use this example because we're used to thinking in a linear manner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you are in the investing game, you're usually thinking in an exponential manner. You're thinking, how often will my money double? So I'll give people a second to think about that as I keep my eye on the time. So if you doubled a penny, how much would you have in 30 days? So if you doubled a penny, if you just had 1 cent and then went to 2 and then went to 4, 8, 16, 32, if you did that for 30 days, you'd have over $5 million. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because when you're investing, the investor mindset, what I call millionaire math, what people who invest look at is how is my money doubling? Now that I've said this, if you watch CNBC or Bloomberg or any of these, or just regular news, and you see people talking about the market and investing, you're going to notice that a lot of times in the background conversation, they're using the language doubling your money. And this is what the game is. Now, I usually expound on this because it really is about how compounding in my investing masterclass, but I want to introduce you to the concept because it's really important for innovation investing. So where can you invest where you're doubling your money and you have accelerated growth because it is growing exponentially and it's doubling quickly? That's exponential technology. So again, I ask people to come with a piece of pen and paper. If you could just do a little research, Google exponential technology. So generally, traditional businesses grow in a linear fashion, and we just say this straight line, this is what happens. But exponential technology, in the beginning, is all brand new. No one understands it, but it's revolutionary, it's disrupting the way that we do anything. But in the beginning, it's untested. And so this shows that it's underperforming a lot of times, regular companies in the beginning. And then what they have what is called an iPhone moment, where the technology takes off, it changes our life. And where regular companies are growing like this, exponential technology will just shoot up to the moon. So exponential technology are those innovations that continue to advance exponentially. You see that doubling of the money with disruptive economic, the companies grow the disruptive lifestyles. Think about the iPhone. Okay, so what does it mean to invest in innovation? And I talk about this because we're not investing in this area, and that is affecting a lot of the statistics that I showed you earlier. So let's look at this. During the next decade, I talked about we will experience even more upheaval and create more wealth than we have in the past 100 years. And when you're looking at this, you want to invest in leaders, enablers, and beneficiaries of technology. So if you had invested in Amazon, $100, just $100 in the early years, it'd be $129. If you had invested in 10,000, it would be more than 12 million. Apple, if you had just put $100 in the early years, it would be over 67,000, and $10,000 would be more than 6 million. And I talk about Apple, when I was very young, I was working at a university, and I remember when the little box computers were on the desk, and I've always paid attention and invested early. And so I was in on Apple in the very early days. Microsoft, just $5,000 investment in the early days would be worth over 10 million. Tesla, a recent player, if you just put $1,000 investment in Tesla in 2010, it would be over $180,000, and $10,000 would be more than 1.8 million. So the next one is Bitcoin, and I just want to play around. If you had invested $1 in Bitcoin, just $1 in 2009-10, in the early years, I want you to guess what that $1 would be worth. So $1,000 just 5 years ago would be worth over 400,000. But $1 invested in Bitcoin in the first years would be over 9 million. So the interesting thing about investing in innovative technology, the only thing stopping us very often is our mindset, because in the early years, it generally takes very little money to get into these investments. And so right now, there's so many opportunities to invest in this area where it would take very little and have the potential for having really strong returns in the future. Okay, so we're talking about the cryptoverse. Just to understand that buying and holding innovation is a time-tested way to build wealth. And if we do nothing but take 1%, very little of the resources that were coming in, remember, savings does not build wealth. It is investing that builds wealth. And all it is a shift in mindset. And when you're investing in this area, it usually has exponential growth, and it takes very little to get in the beginning. All right. So to understand the cryptoverse, people are asking, what is this Bitcoin? What is cryptocurrency? And this is about money and currency. And a lot of times understanding this area, the first thing we have to do is go back and understand what money actually is. We use it, we spend it, we do all of these things, but to just go back and understand what is this function of money. So this is Aristotle here. Aristotle came up with the definition of the function of money hundreds of years ago, and it's still pretty much used to this day. Economics, what is the function of money? This is important to understand cryptocurrency. So money stores value. It is a store of value. You'll hear this term used a lot when you're looking at cryptocurrency and investing particularly. So you're able to, what does that mean? You're able to work and someone will give you a piece of paper, and that piece of paper, that money, or digitally, will store the value for the work that you've done. It's a store of value that you can exchange in the future, you can invest, you can do different things. So it stores value. It's a measure of value. So someone told me this years ago, but I have to verify it. It measures value. Rolex, $40,000, but only takes $74 to make. So $40,000 is a measure of how much Rolex is. A shirt, $20. It's used to measure value. And lastly, we all know this one, is used as a medium of exchange. And that is, we could just use it to make purchases. You can go and spend it anywhere. All right. So this whole concept of money and store of value is based upon trust. The only thing that's backing the value is trust, that the majority of people must agree it's valuable and believe it will remain valuable in the future. So what creates value for money? Fiat, also known as fiat, that's dollars, euros, yen, is governments and banks, highly centralized. The power is all in their hand, and they determine they could print a lot or little. If they print a lot, it literally will decrease the value. Now, gold is not linked to any centralized money, to any centralized government. Its value is based upon scarcity and demand, and the fact that everyone agrees over time that it is a store of value and that it will continue to hold value over time. So that's the concept, understand, is that trust. Now, we do know that gold has not been back the dollar since the 1970s. So the only thing that's creating value is that we trust that the government and the banks, what they will do in terms of monetary policy. So where we stand right now, the US printed more money in 1 month last year in 2020 than they had in two centuries. We know that the more money that you print, the less valuable it is. And here is an example of a country that started to print so much money that they had to have $100 billion bills. That's how much each dollar was being devalued, that you had to spend so many that they had to create such large bills. And when we're looking at gold, gold has been for centuries a standard of people accumulating it and passing it down for generations. And the very wealthy have been known to hold gold because it has a universal, a worldwide price per ounce. So if a government policies disrupt the currency and devalue the currency, they always know that they have their gold, and gold is the same price per ounce worldwide with the little differentials. So this is just a little article about a vault for the ultra rich right outside of Harrods in London, where only billionaires could hold their gold because it is a store of value that people trust. So here we go, the cryptocurrency. What is crypto? So to understand crypto, you have to understand the blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. So we have life-changing, innovative technology. We understand how the internet changed the way that we are communicating forever. Access to information forever. The blockchain is going to do for the world of transacting what the internet did for exchanging information. So the blockchain allows peer-to-peer transactions through ledgers across a network, and the contents of these ledgers do not rely on any specific individual organization to verify them. They rely on underlying technology. So what was created, just like with the internet, technology to have computers talk to each other and exchange information, the blockchain has ledgers that allow peer-to-peer transactions without any centralized people verifying it, because technology can verify it. So Bitcoin was created in 2009 as the first currency to run on this new technology. And this new technology is based upon a number of things. It's trustless, doesn't rely on a government or banks or institution. It relies on technology as a solution. It's decentralized. It's not in the central hands of banks or governments, because it's peer-to-peer. There's no intermediaries. It's borderless. A farmer in Africa can have the same financial availability as a Wall Street banker. So cryptocurrencies are these digital assets that people use as investments. They remember a store of value and or for purchases. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. Okay, so I couldn't possibly explain to you everything you needed to know about the blockchain and Bitcoin, but this is a resource that I highly recommend. It's called 99bitcoins.com. And they have a crash course. They send you videos every morning. They're short. Once a week, they send you a video update. I've been recommending this for a while, and people love this. We cannot afford not to understand this area, because the future of not just currency, but many ways that organizations do business will be focused here. So this is where I thought that I would end today. Why it's important to invest in Bitcoin for the future. So I see that it is 7:30. I have a part 2 to this conversation that is going to be on Wednesday, where I'll go into why you invest in Bitcoin, how you invest in Bitcoin, and why this is actually revolutionary. And it's opening up opportunities to us as a people that may not have been, that have not been open to us before, and why we cannot afford to be outside of this area. So I'm going to give people a moment to ask some questions on just what I've covered so far.
Awesome. We have one hand raised so far, and I'm great that you option to bring the community in, because I'm like, I can listen to you talk about money all day. There's so much information here. So let's move on to the community here, and we'll have Teresa, Scott, and if there's anyone else who would like to ask questions or share any content, they can do so at this time. We'll take like another, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe to wrap up, because we can't, I mean, we need closure here. And I know you're coming back for a second session on Wednesday, so I look forward to that. Teresa, are you ready?
Yes, hi, good morning, Miss Alicia. Thank you so much. I've been looking into Bitcoins and different things, and what I was trying to understand is like I have stocks, so I was wondering like is it better to keep the stocks or just transfer to Bitcoins? Because I've been taking, like these free Bitcoin classes with this company, and I'm just, just trying to wonder like the way you explained it to me, it was a lot more. It was like, it's not they can't explain it to me. I guess because just you talking, it's like when I'm in the class, it's a whole bunch of people, but I just wanted to know, like, what's the best policy to transfer your stock to Bitcoin, or is that safe?
So what I don't do because I'm a coach and not advisor is tell people exactly what to do with their money. But what I can tell you is why it's important to pay attention to this space.
Okay.
And the fact that it is, again, could be the future of currency.
Right.
That, the fact that so 90% of Bitcoin, 90%, there's a maximum of 21 million of Bitcoin that could ever be created. Over 90% of them have already been distributed. There are less than 3 million Bitcoins left. In the future, if this is the future of currency, and there's so few of them left, there is a conversation in the world that if this is the future of currency, that let me say one other thing, that each Bitcoin could be broken down into 100 million pieces, and those pieces are called Satoshis. So each Bitcoin is like 100 million Satoshis.
Right.
So there's a conversation that the wealthy will talk in Bitcoin and everyone else will talk in Satoshis. There's even a movement right now that I hear is on social media for every Black person to at least own 1,000 or 100,000 Satoshis, whatever price that is. So the opportunity now to actually own Bitcoin is may not be available in the same way for future generations. So right now, we're in that moment in the fourth industrial revolution, where the beginning of it, where Bitcoin is actually accessible to us. And again, we have to, be thinking into the future. Again, it's a new technology. It has some risks in it. But right now, there's an opportunity that may not present itself in other generations, and that we can may not be I
understand.
Think about it, understand it in that way.
Yeah. I understand. Oh shoot. What happened?
Okay, but I want to go on to any other questions also, but I hope that answered your question too, about the importance of investing in this area.
Yes, it does. Very much. Thank you.
The next time we have raised is from V. Johnson Sandyford. Are you ready?
Yes,
Thank you for
thank
unmuting.
you. Good morning, Alicia. I finished taking 3 of your classes. I haven't finished the last one because I think it went a little fast for me, so I'm going to repeat it when it comes back.
Sure.
But my question is about the Bitcoin. Hold on. I got a lot going on in my head. All right, so in my Coinbase, I have the USD coin, the Ethereum, the Dalit, the Bitcoin, and the Stellar Lumis. And I just bought a little of each in the Coinbase, just because you keep talking about innovation. And is it wise to buy various Bitcoin, or stick with just like, all right, I have invested in 2, 4, 5 of the different ones only in Coinbase, but then in Cash App and Robinhood, I also purchased. I have Bitcoin, the
So,
crypto Bitcoin.
I'm sorry, could you say your name again? I know this voice so much.
Well, you know my voice. I'm Veronica. This is my daughter's right now, so it comes up as V Johnson Standish, but I'm Veronica Curtin Johnson.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk to people specifically about.
I know,
what,
yeah. So,
okay, but I will answer this question for sure.
Yes.
So, there's in understanding the space. Bitcoin is a first mover. It's never been hacked, my understanding, and also it is in terms of a store of value. You see with people printing with the government and banking decisions, really in some ways making decisions that could destabilize currency. You see large institutions, high net worth individuals. You see a move to people, to organizations, institutions, they rather hold Bitcoin as a store of value than even cash. And so that's making Bitcoin a very, very valuable player. And again, the future of money could be centered. This is all, again, this is innovation. You don't know exactly where it's going to go, but what you have to look at is what is actually happening right now. When you see the Teslas, when you see Fidelity, when you see all of the big players going into this area and Bitcoin being respected as a store of value. So that being said, there's a belief that all roads lead to Bitcoin at some point. Acquiring Bitcoin is very important for some of the reasons that I mentioned earlier. However, there's so many altcoins. Those are any coins and currencies that are not Bitcoin. And a lot of them are doing very innovative things. Some of them may grow faster than Bitcoin. And it's important to pay attention to both.
Okay.
But the importance in the end of owning Bitcoin is really important. It reminds me of, for me, when I was investing earlier, like when I understood real estate, although I used to invest in the market in order to buy real estate, because all roads led to real estate and, the potential there. So I hope that answers your question.
So what you're saying is it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter that what we invest in, but as we look at Bitcoin, we don't know which one is going to really take off and when it's going to take off. And it's just wise to have our foot in, because look at the person who had $1 in Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago. And
actually what I'm saying is institutions, the mass adoption of crypto is Bitcoin.
Right.
Huge institutions, high net worth individuals, large companies, are starting to adopt holding Bitcoin, not other altcoins.
Not all coins. Okay.
Bitcoin. However, there are also other altcoins that are emerging in the space. So it's never just one company. You usually have the major player, and then you have other players that are strong, and you want some diversity, but you have to know who the major player is. And generally, that's a real important low-hanging fruit baseline place that you want to invest. So let me just say a little bit about, before I stop share my screen. I know a number of you have taken some of my courses. I've built a community called Journey to Wealth Women in Action. It is a community. It is a membership where once a month, where there are monthly activities to really keep us playing, engaged, and taking action in this area. I know a number of people take my courses, and then when you're outside of that space, the biggest question people said is like, oh, once I'm not taking your courses, I get kind of out of the game, out of the community. So I wanted to build a community around this, where monthly we stay in action. For people, for Women's History Month, I have a special offer for founding members that you lock in a rate for the lifetime of this Women in Action community. And there's a bonus workshop that I'm doing on how to use LEAPs. There's a lot of conversation. I've been investing in LEAPs for like 20 years now. They helped me put my children through expensive private schools when they were younger. And again, this is a way that you can use leverage. Just so you can see some of the, I know I'm going a little over. What we do, I do 2 live trading sessions every month. Anyone who took my courses know that when you do it live and you simulate it and you use some of the skills that I'm teaching you, it's such a great way to stay in the game and to continue building your skill, to have those live sessions where we're like using technical analysis and those kinds of things. So I'm going to do one basic session and one advanced session for those of you who want to really learn and continue to understand the world of investing, stock, and cryptocurrency. I'll do some monthly financial fitness masterclasses. There'll be wealth building tools. Oh, there's John stopped. I think they stopped sharing. So yeah, I know that I'm over. Keeping this to 30 minutes was going to be a challenge, but journeytowealth.com is where you, .net, journeytowealth.net if you want more information. I will be back on Wednesday to talk about how you invest in the crypto space, why it's important, again, a little more about why it's important to do right now. And I guess that is probably, not sure if I can answer any more questions, and if we'll be ending here, if I'll be ending here.
Okay, here's your special offer. I know you mentioned it a little bit just now. Were you complete with that, with your special offer?
Well, then I have a VIP offer also that is for, but you can go to my site, journeytowealth.net, and there's an opening event that it's collaborating with Shawnee around women getting fired up and taking action and celebrating all of the amazing Black women in the past who just were fired up, took action, and changed the world in many ways with the things that they've done. And that's on the 27th.
Could you take us through your contact info so we know how to reach you?
You can reach me by phone at this number. I highly recommend that you email me at alicia@j2wealth.com. Again, my website is journeytowealth.net. I'm on Facebook under Alicia Holmes, Instagram, Wealthy Woman Magic, and under LinkedIn as Alicia Holmes.
Awesome. And I see your website and your email. Website is www.journeytowealth.net and email alicia@j2wealth.com. For those that are not visually seeing it, I like for us to actually hear it. Awesome. And where did I go? Oh, forgive me, everyone. A little blooper here with the slide. I will close out and come back up. And okay. And share.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And share. Okay. Okay, and you'll be back with us on Wednesday.
I will be back with you on Wednesday.
Yeah. And I like to share, Stacy, but tomorrow we'd like you to join us. We'll be led by Stacy McLean, and her session title is called Manifesting an ETA for Your ETA. Now that sounds pretty interesting. And then on Wednesday, Alicia, it's you back with Wealth Building with Crypto Part 2. And I am so looking forward to that because, like everyone else, this new technology, new understanding, and we've seen it happen in the past, where people invest in the early days and then all of a sudden, boom. So I can't wait to hear more.
Yes, it's not too late. Can I just say how fabulous Stacy is? Like we work. That's my,
Yes, you
my yoga
can.
person. That's my healer and yoga coach. And she's fabulous.
I'm sure Stacy appreciates that. Family, the Woo Nation welcome all new members. If there are any new members here today, I would love for you to share that with us. You can put it in the chat. And if you're new on Facebook, also do the same. Put it into the chat there. We will acknowledge you and welcome you to the community. We are thankful that you're here with us this morning. And if you're here to listen to Alicia, as Shawnee always says, don't just hit it and quit it. We invite you back. There's a wealth of information here in our community, and you can see all of that. You can come to our Facebook group and join our group there, and you can get all the replays. We want to remind you that we're here Sunday, Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 to 8:30. That's our 90-minute session, Eastern Standard Time. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're here from 7 to 7:30, our 30-minute session. And we're always streaming live on Facebook. To register, bit.ly/wakeupmovement. And we look forward to seeing you again. And our schedule, as I just mentioned, our 90 minutes and our 30 minutes. And sometimes, we go over a little bit, but that's all accepted here in our community. Sometimes the conversation is just so juicy. Wake up, everybody. Our 1-year anniversary is coming up upon us. That will be Monday, March 29th from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a Monday, which is usually our 30-minute session, but we're going to party for about 2 hours or more. You know how we do it here in Wake Up. Again, registered at bit.ly Wake Up Movement. Our host for our anniversary session will be Shawnee Benton Gibson, our executive producer. And we want you to grab the Woo swag. We want you to come prepared. Oh, let me just mention, we also have a DJ for that day. And DJ Cena, and I hope I said your name right, but DJ Cena and the ones and twos for Monday, March 29th. And grab the Woo swag. Visit us at bit.ly/Woo swag. And I know many of you have already received your items. I'm happy to be a part of this. I look forward to seeing everyone in all their colors, their yellow, orange, purple, and blue, which are the colors of our logo. And again, visit us at bit.ly/Woo swag. And our shop is growing. We're adding more content, more product. And you can also make some suggestions if you like to how would you like to rock your swag. And we want to thank you. Thank you for being here with us again. We invite you not to hit it and quit it. Stay in touch with us. You can register bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. You can find us on Facebook and you can register there at bit.ly/Wake Up Community. Find us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual and on YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And register. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us here at our email, which is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And you can also post any questions, concerns, or just feedback in our Wake Up community group. It's a private group. We invite you to we actually invite other people to join us. We're expanding. If you love to be part of our community, again, we are always open for support in any form. We're growing, and there's so many different options in which you can help build and be of service. There's nothing better than being of service. It's actually one of my commitments. I love being of service. This is a community where you give and it gives right back to you. So family, at this time, I would like to invite you to come off mute and do what we do. It's time for our love shower. Can we bless and welcome our dear Alicia Holmes with that love? Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you,
so much,
Alicia.
Alicia.
Thank
You
you.
did a really great
Thank
job at
you.
explaining
Of course, of
in terms of
I
financial and
So much.
Bitcoin, and
You rock. I really
so
appreciate
great
that.
job with that. Thank you.
This
Have a
is
great day.
awesome.
Alicia, for doing what you're
Thanks.
doing for the community.
Thank you.
And let's
Thank
move
you so
forward,
much.
everybody.
I'm in a better place.
Happy
Now that I
birthday,
take care
Adam.
of four
Thank you,
kids,
Alicia.
one
Thank
Adam,
you.
so I was
Thank you.
learning mode. We're in learning
La
mode.
la 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 whoop. Yeah, Alicia.
Money empowerment. Thank
La la
you. Good
whoop. Yeah,
morning, Denise. Good morning, Yodine. Good morning, Marie Lovell.
just for
Good
having
morning.
great information and financial, helping us to build financial wealth legacy for families. You're the bomb.com. Thank you so much. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are, they said, you girl, you rock.
Yes.
Just beautiful information. Thank you so much.
So much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day, everyone. Peace and blessings.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Everybody be safe.
Yes.
Yes.
Have a great day, Alicia. Look
You're
forward.
welcome. Thank you. You too.
Have a great day, family. Love y'all.
Thank you.